Hey there, friends. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this, you are joining us for day 3 of our EdTech Summit. So I hope that means that you were able to learn with us on day 1 and day 2, and there just wasn't enough time to get to this session because of all of the great learning that was offered. And so this is Fueling Learning Fun with Flipgrid. And so in this session, I'm going to share with you some great things that Flipgrid can do for your classroom, for learning, and for our students, and really help them feel connected and show you what they know. And so if we've never learned together before, my name is Tavarez. I am the Director of Digital Learning. This is my 16th year with the district, and so I am also a mom and a wife. I have 2 little rock stars named Jax and Tucker, and so they are 4 and 6. And then just an awesome husband, Philip, that supports me on all of my craziness and just my obsession with learning, education, and student success. And so if we are not already connected on Twitter, I would love to make that connection and interact with you there as well. And so on Twitter, Lauren L. Tavarez, ECISD. So let's continue. This right here that you're looking at, this is our incredible digital learning team. And so these are our specialists. I like to share that because you may be new to the district. And so if you are, thank you for picking us. But each campus is assigned a digital learning specialist. And so just an incredible team. And they are here to help you. If you have any questions, you want to bring Flipgrid to your classroom, and they will be your think buddy and your partner in figuring out how it can look for your class. So let's get prepared for learning today. I do encourage you to be present. I encourage you to, of course, if you're watching this, your camera doesn't matter if it's on because you're watching this on your own, but definitely utilize the opportunities for engagement. And so I'm gonna throw out some ideas, but the great thing about Flipgrid is, honestly, y'all, the possibilities are endless. And so there's many more beyond what I'm going to show you guys. And so just be thinking about what could this look like for my kids. Hey, so in today's learning, we are going to talk a little bit about student voice. And so in the Flipgrid community, that is what it is all about. It's about giving kiddos a voice to explain their learning, to explain their thoughts, to connect with one another. And so, of course, it definitely is used for creating class community. There's tons of accessibility for all learners built in. So great tools to help support the many different learning types and styles that we have in our classrooms. There's a discovery library. So there are already lessons and activities built and ready for you to just use. And so, of course, you can use as is, or you can edit those. And so I'm going to show you where to find that. And then I want to leave you at the end with just how do you continue to learn, and who do you reach out to, and where can you find that Flipgrid community? Because that is one of the things that I absolutely love about Flipgrid is it's not just a learning tool. It's also a whole group of people that support one another and share ideas with each other. So that being said, let's get into it. So if you will, I'm going to ask you to join me on Flipgrid. And so if you want to even pause the video, you definitely could do that. But you're going to want to go to the app that you downloaded. And you downloaded the Flipgrid app, whether that be on your cell phone. Hey, if you have a tablet with you, you could do it there. Or you can go to flipgrid.com, hey, and you're going to use the join code. And so I want you to get into Flipgrid with me, and we're going to look around there. Hey, so I'm going to let you kind of connect with that and check that out. So what is student voice? Hey, I'm going to share some information with you while you are getting on Flipgrid. Student voice is what Flipgrid is all about. Hey, it's a video discussion platform, okay, that lets kids record themselves. We all know those students that sometimes just have a hard time getting their thoughts from their head to the paper, where they're having to write things out and, answer questions in that way. So it's just another opportunity to support that need. Also, too, if a student can explain to you their thinking, that's a much higher level of understanding that's required beyond a fill in the blank or just an answer written down on if you're doing, say, math problems or, science vocabulary. And so it really does raise the challenge for students, and it requires them to know what the content much better. Okay, and so to go back, when you are in this presentation and looking at this resource, I do have a getting started guide linked out here. If you're new to Flipgrid and you want to pause the video again and just kind of go look around that and see what information is there. Okay, now with Flipgrid, students can describe what they learned. They can explain how the learning relates to their experience, and they can show their teachers what they understand and what they know. But they also, when doing that, is so powerful for teachers because now you have a window into their brain to be able to see what they understand and if they're not understanding it. If they're not understanding it, you would be able to kind of pick apart that response and figure out why, and determine what are your next steps as a teacher to provide those, to fill in those gaps for what the student is understanding. So it really can be so helpful in that way. I think back to when I was teaching, and teaching long division is difficult for I taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. So I didn't have Flipgrid when I was doing that, and I always think back to that and think, God, I wish I'd had that, because I could have really used it for those students that were not understanding, have them explain that process. And then I could go and I could see exactly where they're missing it and what the problem was. And so just something to think about there, and how it can help with your students. Now, we know that our students this last year really expressed some concerns and some areas where they weren't feeling connected with learning, and they were not feeling that community. And so Flipgrid can be so helpful for us in that. So to create that community one-on-one, to get to know each other. Some ideas and some things that you could do are, you can record your own video. Okay, in Flipgrid, they have what's called shorts videos. And so you can record your own video as the teacher, just welcoming them, telling them a little bit about you. Kids love to see your dogs, your cats, your kids, your family, whatever it is, but just kind of introducing yourself. And then Flipgrid will generate for you an AR VR code, very similar to the one that was on the first slide of this presentation. And so you can provide that QR code to your students and to their families, and they can meet you before they actually even arrive to your class. You could use this for student introductions in your classroom, not only to get used to using Flipgrid, but also to learn a little bit about your students. They could record videos or Flipgrid responses introducing themselves. You definitely could use this for students to explain a process or content, like I've already talked a little bit about. And so to really get into the thinking and, what they understand about anything in any class, any age group. We are talking a lot about now in education, student goal setting and having those portfolios, and really holding students accountable for their learning and getting them more involved in the process so that they can understand why they're doing what they're doing. And so Flipgrid would be awesome for student goal setting, maybe at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year, having them record a response and talking about what they want to achieve in their learning in the next several of weeks. And then also too, I have done, this was really fun with the whole staff. We did what's called a flip hunt. And so I encourage you, if that sounds interesting to you, you're looking for ways to really build rapport with teams of people. So maybe not even a whole staff, but maybe your grade level or your department. There's tons of resources and information on the internet about Flip Hunt. And so if you just search Flip Hunt, it'll pull up information on how to create those. And then of course there is, we'll visit the Discovery Library in a bit, but there's tons of pre-made topics in the Discovery Library that you can go and you can explore and really just pull over to your topics or your groups. And so those are just some ideas for creating class community using Flipgrid. Now, another thing that I just absolutely love about Flipgrid is the different accessibility tools. There's so many tools built in that are really going to meet the needs for all of our learners. And so it's very inclusive platform, including tools, closed captions. Immersive reader is built in throughout the app. And so students are able to use immersive reader to potentially read the directions to them. It's built in there to help them out. Kids can record their videos, their responses with text. They can add sticky notes to where they can have their notes in front of them as they're recording. What's really cool about that is in the settings, you can make it to where the student can see the notes when they're recording, but it doesn't get recorded with the video. Okay, so just to kind of add that extra scaffold to them for that. And there's translation tools, which is also very, very helpful, especially with so many languages, students coming to us from everywhere. It just meets the needs of so many different learning styles. And so built into the app are all of these different options. And so I want to just kind of throw out an idea for your classroom throughout this. Hey, but I know oftentimes providing directions for students can be a challenge, especially if you have many different kiddos in your class, and even if you're wanting them to do more than just one thing. And so I have seen teachers very successfully. They love to record themselves explaining an activity. Okay, so giving those directions, modeling what should take place. And then for every Flipgrid response, a QR code is generated. And you can print that, and then you could post that QR code around the room so that students can go and they can scan that QR code and know exactly what it is you're wanting them to do in that learning space. Okay, so that basically allows you to duplicate yourself as a teacher so that they can watch the video a couple times, okay, to see what it is that you're wanting them to do, and then you're able to work with students somewhere else in your classroom. So it just frees you up. Now, if you are looking at the presentation, don't miss this link at the bottom for many different ideas that you can go in and check out as well. So just kind of exploring all the different things that Flipgrid can offer. So the Discovery Library is another thing I want to definitely make sure that you are aware of. And after I show these different things, I am going to spend just a minute in Flipgrid kind of giving you a quick tour because I'm going to allow you time to explore Flipgrid depending on your comfort with it at the websites and using the tool. If you've used the tool in the past, you don't necessarily need me to go step by step. You want to be able to go to the next level with this. So in the Discovery Library, that is what Flipgrid calls the actual the resource of all of the different lessons and activities that other teachers across the world have created. And they're available to you. You can search by topic. You can search by age group. You can search by content. So it makes it very easy to find exactly what it is that you're looking for. And then you're able to take those and you can borrow them. Now you can use them in your own Flipgrid. You can edit anything about it that you want to edit. And so that kind of takes the having to start, at the very beginning and creating. Sometimes the time to create, it does tie teachers up. And so that's really helpful as well. So I'm going to pause here. I want to allow you a chance to explore these things, look around, see what you can find. And so before I do that, I want to head over to Flipgrid just to make sure you know where it is that you are going to be going, so that in the time that I give you to just kind of check things out yourself, you are pointed in the right direction. And so Flipgrid.com is the website that you're going to go to. Now, at the very beginning, I invited you to join a Flipgrid that I have created and that you guys are going to be able to interact with during this time so that you can practice, try it out, and just kind of experience Flipgrid yourself. But this join code, hey, if you're doing it on a Chromebook or you're doing it on a laptop computer, you can enter your join code. Or you can go in, and if you are actually needing to sign up, and this is where you're going to sign up. Hey, once you have an account, right here, you click log in. And so this is where you're going to go if you're actually wanting to engage in Flipgrid as the teacher. And so that join code that I gave you, that's really you experiencing it as a student would. But if you're going to actually go to your own account, you would want to log in. And so once you're in, this is Flipgrid. And so this is this is my dashboard. And so I do have some resources linked out to explain to you the difference in a group and a topic. So if you don't know the difference there, you may want to go in and learn a little bit about that. Hey, but these are all of my different, all of the different ways that I've used Flipgrid and the different times I've used it. Okay, so to help you navigate this website, up here across the top, these are the 5 different areas of the platform. And so when I click on Discovery, this is where I'm going to be able to find all of that information, as I shared with the pre-made activities, but so much more. I mean, there's so many different things here. And so if you have never spent any time looking at the Disco library, I definitely encourage you to spend some time looking around there. As I said, you can search by subject, multiple subjects. You can search by age group and what community you're wanting to share Flipgrid with, or you could just type in a search topic. Okay, so definitely want to check that out, see what you can find there. In your activity, once you have used Flipgrid for a while, this is where you're going to see, you see some ECISD friends there. And this is where you'll see the interactions from your students, responses they've submitted, those types of things. Okay, so check out your activity section. Mixtapes is not something that I'm going to go too into detail, but I definitely encourage you to check it out. And one thing that's great about Flipgrid is they have these resources linked throughout their platform as well. And so if you want to learn more about mixtapes, I definitely think you should. Hey, there's a lot of great things that can be done with those. And then the shorts video. Okay, and so shorts video, as we talked at the very beginning, potentially even recording a video about yourself, just introducing yourself and then sharing that link or that QR code with your students. Also, I use this to model for the campuses I've worked with in the past, my reading books. Okay, so teachers reading books to students and then printing that QR code and putting the QR code in the book so that when the student opens it up, now you've got the teacher actually reading the book with the students digitally. And so those are all, so to navigate, I'm just going to click on the different tabs across the top. And so I encourage you to look around and see what you can find there. So I'm going to pause for now. If you're watching this on a video, I encourage you to just pause the recording and go to this link right here. Okay, you're going to go to the link up here at the top, bit.ly/Flipgrid Fun Summer 21. And that's going to give you access to this so that you can click on these links that are here. So if you already have a free an account set up, you don't need to start there, but you may not have ever spent any time looking in the Discovery Library and you want to go there. Okay, so I do have resources linked out to guide you on those. I'm creating a group or topic and what's the difference. Hey, this resource is going to explain to you what the difference is. And then I always encourage spending time and looking on Twitter for resources and ideas. So if you search the hashtag Flipgrid for all, there's many different people around the world sharing ways that they are using Flipgrid and different ideas that you can borrow from them. So I'm going to just pause the video, check these things out. And then when you are done looking around at Flipgrid, go ahead and resume the video, but I'm going to keep moving. All right, so just kind of to leave you with the Flipgrid community and support. So hopefully you did take some time to stop the video, go look at the resources I shared, really think about what it could look like for your classroom. Maybe you've already created an activity for your classroom that you're going to use with your students or that you can share with the other teachers on your grade level, your department, on your team. And so Flipgrid Pals is something that really is a great example of what technology can offer students in a classroom, and that it can connect your class with kids all over the world. And so if that's something you're interested in, you think that's something you might want to do, go check out Grid Pals. You can actually register on their map and connect with other teachers that are wanting to do the same thing. And so you can build grids together, to where groups or topics together, to where students from both classes can contribute. And you can learn about the different things going on in each culture. You can add co-pilots to your group or topic. So if you want multiple teachers to be the admin, the leader on a group or topic, that's definitely an option. And so you'll want to know exactly what email they have their Flipgrid set up with if you are going to do that. And then Flipgrid Help Center has tons of great resources. Anything you could want to know about Flipgrid, you can search and find how to click by click instructions on navigating the platform and where to how to do specific things. And then, of course, just follow them on Twitter at Flipgrid to continue to see the great things that other classrooms are doing to use Flipgrid for learning for students. And so just so important that the student voice is so many different things. And it's so important for us to listen to students as they tell us how they learn, what they're interested in, what makes them feel successful. And so Flipgrid can offer that. You've got students that really aren't comfortable speaking out in front of the whole class. But if they had an opportunity to just sit and answer on their own, Flipgrid can provide that. And so I've had teachers talk to me about, when they started using Flipgrid, they had students that would never say a word in class, but they loved Flipgrid, and they would go on and on and on Flipgrid. And so you do have the option to set certain time limits on recordings. So maybe that's something you want to think about. But this is definitely something that can really be powerful for our students in your classrooms. So I appreciate you joining this session, joining me for this learning. I really hope that you were able to get some ideas for your classroom and really start thinking about what Flipgrid can look like for your students. We're here to help. So if you have any questions or need anything, please reach out to your digital learning team. Again, your campus does have a digital learning specialist. And if they haven't already, they will be making their introduction soon, and you will know who your person is. So thank you for learning with us today, and I hope you enjoy all of the sessions that you're able to attend, and that this is a great school year for you. Thanks, y'all.